Right. Today I am going to discuss the most important element in your paper, which is a case study question. So, this case study question carries 20 marks. You will get questions pertaining to business studies areas and as questions from accounting section. So, most of the students are struggling this area. Why they struggle? Main reason they do not have some understanding on how to approach these case study questions. Remember, the case study question should be answered based on the case scenario. Based on the scenario given, you need to write an answer. What most of the students is doing during the exam, they recollect what they have studied and put it in the answer. Remember, if you do not study anything on business studies, if you are smart, still you can grab the answers from the case studies and put it in a nice form. In a nice methodology, you can use it for that purpose. So, today I am going to discuss a model paper, which is the Western Province paper case study, and we will see how we can maximize your score during your examination. Clear? So, before we moving into, I will just give you some sort of examination strategies, techniques that you can use during your exam, so that you can mitigate any sort of errors. You can use your time wisely and efficiently and effectively. Right. The correct approach for case study questions that you are getting as a question number 1. Number 1, you need to skim read questions. Do not ever start, do not jump and start read the question. What you need to do at the first instance, skim read all question number 1 to question number 10. Remember, while reading, you need to underline most important things. Please do underline. Why I say so? Because if you underline, your mind goes to that area, and then when you read your case, the scenario, you can grab some answers without reading again and again. So, what are the errors or what are the misconceptions about the case studies? So, they read once, they read twice and they read thrice, but still they are struggling to get an answer. So, if you read your questions and if you have underlined some important words, key words, then your focus going into that. Then you are searching for that information in particularly with the case study. Then it is easy to get an answer rather than studying, going through, reading here and there without having any objective. So, you need to plan it first. So, how you plan? You just read and then you underline and then you search for sub questions. Sometimes most of the students, they omit certain part of the questions, and by the time they came out from the exam halls, they figure out, oh, I missed that part. So, please be attentive while reading, see whether any subparts or any areas where you need to provide an examples of it. So, search for those type of things, very, very important. So, that carries more weightage in your questions. Next, underline the dates. With regard to the accounting part, there are some instances they ask accounting equation as at given date, the closing balance of equity as at that given date, the closing equity kind of things. So, in that context, the dates are very, very important. The dates are very, very important. So, with that understanding, we will read question on Western Province paper. So, what are the questions they have given? They have given questions pertaining to various forms. Number 1, do not ever read case study first. You read and underline the key areas, keywords. So, first one, what is the basic human need? So, you need to underline basic human need. That part you need to underline from question number 1. Clear? Fulfilled by this company, whatever the company, do not worry about the names. and A carries two parts. B, according to the ownership, it says ownership. According to the ownership, broadly you divide into private and public sector, and private sector you have a couple of entities and public sector you have a couple of entities. What type of business organization? Type of business organization. According to the ownership, they are asking type of business organization. So, probably a sole proprietorship, partnership, limited liability company, something like this goes to your mind. Clear? Number 2. Right. Item number 2. Name two internal environmental factors. So, please do underline 2. So, you need to write 2 internal environment. Factors. So, you would have learned there are 3 components in internal environment. What are those? Owners. I am not reading the anything. So, I am just retrieve my memory what we have learned. Clear? So, likewise you need to do during exams. Owners, employees and managers. So, you need to search for any information, obviously the owner is there. So, you need to search for these 2 options while you reading, while you are reading. Clear? So, search for those options, and they are objectives. They have given the format or the template. So, stick to that format. Internal environment factors 2, remember it is 2, do not write more than 2, you will not get any marks, excess, it is only 2. Limit yourself to the what they asked, that is all. We will move to question number 3. Name the way of transport. Way, please do underline way, and the medium, that is part A. So, you need to underline way and medium of transport. And next one, write 1 strength and 1 opportunity. Strength, opportunity. So, you would have done SWOT analysis, strength, weakness, opportunities and threat. Strength come from internal environment and opportunities come from external environment. So, search those information when you read, remember. Next, number 4. Number 4, please do underline what is the act relevant to register the business entity. Please do underline act and register of the business entity. B, this is A, this is B. So, please do underline similar characteristics between sole proprietorship and partnership. Underline similar, sole trader and partnership. For this, you do not need to read the case study. You have already learned this part. Clear? Right. Next one. Next we come to the accounting parts. So, accounting parts number 5, A, the equity. They are asking the equity as at 1st June. Please do underline the date. Equity 1st June. B, liability 1st June. So, please do underline liability and 1st June. 6th, name 2 types of prime entry books. Prime entry books. Name 2 types of prime entry books the companies or whatever the business maintain. 7, that carries two parts. If current account is open, write the double entry relevant to depositing cash or check. They are asking double entry. They are asking double entry. So, please do underline double entry relevant to depositing check. Please underline depositing check / cash. B, this is A, second one is B. Write the cash balance as at 30th June 2021. Closing cash. Closing cash. So, when you want to calculate the closing cash balance, you need to prepare cash book. Remember, if you take the mark allocation, 2 marks for each. So, question number 6, 7, part B, you need to prepare cash book. Remember, it is not an easy task, it is time consuming work, but you get only 1 mark. Remember, if you do not have time, just leave it. Clear? If you do not have time, just leave it. It is kind of a strategy that you need to take that risk. Clear? Right. Next one, 8. What is the depreciation of lorry for the month of? Remember, most of the students will go wrong. They might calculate depreciation for the year, but the question they ask, depreciation for the lorry for the month. Depreciation for the lorry for month. Remember, please do underline. You do not need to calculate, just underline. Plan yourself. State the journal entry relevant to depreciation. So, the journal entry relevant to depreciation. So, you can draw a general journal, debit depreciation expense, credit accumulated depreciation. The amount can go wrong, put the correct double entry, debit depreciation, credit accumulated depreciation. Next one, calculate net profit or loss. Calculate net profit or loss and do underline for the month of June. For the month of June. Last one, what is the net value of non-current asset as at the end of June? It is called carrying amount. Carrying amount of non-current assets as at 30th June. Clear? Take at least 5 to 10 minutes, just read and allocate and plan how you should answer this. Clear? Understood? So, we will see by reading how we can develop an answer for that one. Clear? Good. Okay, shall we read it? While you read it, try to search answers for the question they asked. Clear? Okay, we will read one by one. Dhammika Vithanage, a diploma holder of food technology. Food technology gives a kind of a clue for this, but we are not sure. We will see, we will go further. Was inquisitive about business opportunities. Considering the busy schedule of people, he started a business called Green Veggie on 1st June 2021. Please do underline the date. Please do underline the name of the business entity. Green Veggie, 1st June 2021. To cut and pack fresh vegetables, green leaves and sell by visiting houses in the city. Please do underline visiting houses in the city. Dhammika invested 200,000 in cash and 800,000 worth of lorry to the business. Amount in rupees, 200,000 in cash, please do underline, and please do underline 800,000 worth of lorry. An employee and driver were recruited for the business. So, they have given owner's information, they have given employee's information. Now, you know, now it triggers, you can easily answer this question. Clear? A bank loan of 50,000 has been obtained on 1st June 2021. 1st June 2021. So, if we take it very clearly, the equity, it's come from mainly from cash and from lorry. So, have some idea, we are not develop an answer, you get some idea here. Following transactions are related to the production of vegetable packets for the month of June 2021. Purchase of vegetables, purchase of green leaves, purchase of packing materials, purchasing of cutting machine, please do underline, cutting machine, you are buying a non-current asset in addition to lorry. If you are buying a non-current asset in addition to the lorry, both lorry and this cutting machine need to be depreciated for the period of 1 month, remember. Buying a cutting machine is not an expense, remember. From these machines, from these lorries, there is a wear and tear part that we call depreciation, that is an expense. So, that need to be write off in the profit and loss statement. Okay. Paying employees a salary monthly 10,000, expenses of distribution vegetable packets for the month of 2021, fuel 12,000, paid driver salary 20,000. And they have given a clue how to calculate depreciation. Lorry by 12% and machine of the business 6% should be depreciated on straight line method annually. It has also been decided to open a current account to do the business transaction systematically. Each vegetable packet is consisted 3 types of vegetables by 200 grams each. The price of one vegetable packet is 150. Price 150 vegetables and 50 for green leaves. So, what he is trying to give? He is trying to give price of each component. They do 2 product portfolios, one is vegetable packs, other one is green leaves packs, and they give a price for each. And further they mentioned within the month of June, the business sold 4,000 vegetable packets. 4,000 vegetable packets and 2,000 green leaves packets. So, what they are trying to establish? You derive revenue. How we calculate the revenue? Price multiplied by quantity, price multiplied by quantity, add together, that is your revenue. Clear? Right. There is no closing stocks at the end of the month of June. There is no closing stock at the end of the month. Right. This is vegetables, green leaves. Now, we will answer the question number 1, basic human need. Basic human need is food. Basic human needs is food. Clear? Number 1B, based on the ownership, the type of the organization, sole proprietorship. Okay. Sole proprietorship is the type of business organization. Next, number 3, name the internal environment factors. So, you can write, you can copy the table here, environmental factor and reason to be interested. So, you can write the owner, and you can write the employees. Owner and employees obtain sufficient amount of profit obtain fair amount of salary. Obtain fair amount of salary. Name the way of transport. 3A. Way, you can write roadway or highway, both are correct. And the medium is lorry. Write one strength and one opportunity. Strength and opportunity. So you can write it Dhammika owner has a diploma in food technology. Opportunity busy schedule of people. Busy schedule of people. Busy schedule of people. Number 4. What is the act relevant to register the name of the business? Number 6. Business names registration ordinance. (1819). Okay. Write 2 similar characteristics between sole proprietorship and partnership. No legal personality. No legal personality. No legal personality. Unlimited liability. No legal personality, unlimited liability, easy to commence, or no going concernability, no continued existence. Clear? So we have done up to 4, okay, and we will focus on the accounting parts after that. Clear? Right. Now we come to accounting part. So remember, accounting part is not hard. We will go slowly and try to understand the concept. Right. The question is, what is the value of equity of Green Veggie business as at 1st June 2021? Please do underline equity, please do underline 1st June 2021. So here they specifically mention equity as at 1st June 2021. So how much he put the money? He has invested 200,000 rupees. he has invested 200,000 rupees. In addition to that, the lorry worth of 800,000. So, what is equity? 1 million. Done. Next. What is the value of liability? There is A, this is B. Liability. The value of liability, he has obtained a loan from a bank loan. ₹50,000. That's all. Next one, name 2 types of prime entry books of green veggie should maintain the business as planned. So, here based on the nature of the transaction, there are certain transactions occurred in the during the month of June, and based on that you can figure out the answers. First one, purchases, cash purchases, where you record cash book 6, cash book. And you maintain a bank account, here you have depreciation or adjustments that you do general journal. And you open a current account, so that means bank account. So, in case if they are supporting documents, they did not ask supporting documents. In case they ask cash book, what are the supporting documents? Payment voucher and receipt. General journal, what is the supporting document? Journal voucher. Bank account, what is the supporting document? Either check counterfile or payment voucher or check butt or bank statement. Clear? Right. If number 7A, if a current account is open, write the double entry relevant to depositing cash or check. Debit, bank account, credit, cash or cash book. Debit, bank account and credit, cash book. Right. Next one, you need to draw cash book to record transaction and to come up with closing cash balance. So, shall we draw a cash book? Let's write it down, cash book. You just write it down, rupees, description. Clear? Rupees description. So, remember for cash book, all cash coming in this side and all cash payment in this side. Understood? So, the first thing cash coming in is capital. How much is the capital? 200,000. And purchases, vegetables, or just say purchases, just write V, that is enough because it is 1 mark, remember it is only 1 mark, 380. Purchases green leaves, 20. Purchases packing material, 10. Purchases cutting machine 25. Salaries 10. Fuel 12. Driver salary, just say sell 20. That is all cash payment here. And now let us look at the other parts. It has been decided to open a current account, whatever this stuff, and it says the price of one veg pack 150 into this, just multiply this with this, sells veg pack. How we calculate? 150 into 4000. So that is 600, 3 zeros. Green leaf packs 50 into 2000, 2k, 2000, that is 100. Clear? And you need to take into account the bank loan, we missed that part, 50,000. Clear? That is 30th June, 1st July, balance brought forward. Right. So, now we need to balance the account here. So, when you take the balance, you need to give more prominence to the higher column. So, it is 200, 800, 900, 950. And put the same amount here, 950. Okay, and then take 400, 170, 477. So take the difference. This is the closing balance, 473. So you write it here, 473,000. So there is a closing balance of cash. Clear? Right. Next, depreciation of lorry. So this is part, question number 7, part B. And we will try to figure out 8, part A, depreciation of lorry. So, what is the formula for lorry depreciation? You take the cost minus scrap value divided by useful life. The lorry scrap value has not been given here. So, you directly take cost is 800,000 divide by useful life, it is not given. You take the depreciation rate, and this is for annual. Do not do any calculation, believe it. This is an annual depreciation, that divide by 12. 800,000 multiplied by 12% divide by 12. That means 800% multiplied by 1%. Multiplied by 1% means what? You remove the last 2 digits. Answer is 8,000. Clear? You remove last 2 digits. Next, what is the double entry for lorry depreciation? B, debit depreciation for lorry 8,000, credit accumulated depreciation 8,000. We will move on to question number 9. So, they are asking calculate net profit or loss of green veggie for the month of June. So, write it down profit or loss statement. So, you can write at the top the green veggie business for the month of June 2021. June 2021. So, start with sales minus cost of sales. So, you have purchases and leave some space, and you have gross profit and you have expenses. There is no income sources here, and remember this is 2 marks, do not waste much time, and you do not need to categorize the expenses for 2 marks. Remember, there is no such requirement as such. So, purchases which green leaves and packing materials. So, that is 380, 20 and 10. So, altogether it is 410. Sales, you derive this figure from here, 600 plus is 700,000. And then you take the gross profit, this difference is 300 minus 10 is 290. The expenses part, salary, there is 20 plus 10, 30,000, and then you have fill 12,000, and the depreciation, you have 2 sort of depreciation. One is for lorry, that already done, 8,000, and depreciation for cutting machine. So, have a separate calculation for depreciation part. I will do here. Cutting machine, what is the cost? 25,000. 25,000 into 6% divide by 12. 26,000 into 6% divide by 12. So, you just take half. So, 1% is 250, 1% of 250 you need half of that is 125. 125. So, 8125. So, 40,125. Yeah. Sorry, 40,125. Yeah. Sorry, 50,125. My mistake. 30, 42, 50,125. And then write it on net profit. So, if you minus 290, 50, it is 240, 239, 875. So, if we do smart, assume this is 50,000 and this is 290, the difference is 40 and 40 minus 125, 239, sorry 39,875, 239,875. Is it clear? So, start with sales 700,000, you minus the purchase, there is no closing stocks. So, there is no closing stocks, you do not need to minus it. So, take the entire purchases, that is 410, 700 minus 410, that is 290, and you take the total of expenses 30, 20 plus 10, and then fuel is 12 and the total depreciation is 8125. So, this is 42, 50, 125. So, the difference is 239,875. Clear? Right. We will come to the last point here. Last point is what is the net value, another term, carrying amount, the carrying amount of non-current assets, that is the last part. So, remember, non-current assets which has a limited useful life, you need to depreciate. So, non-current assets. So, if you do your statement of financial position, you start with the cost minus accumulated depreciation and then you come up with the carrying amount. So, you have two types of assets, one is lorry here, another one is cutting machine. The lorry, the cost is 800,000, accumulated depreciation is current year depreciation, current month depreciation 792. Cutting machine is 25,000. We have calculated the depreciation 125. So, this minus this 24,875. 25,000 minus 125. Add together 875,618. That is the answer. Clear? So, this is straightforward. So, remember, do not waste much time. This is a very kind of a easy task. So, you need to plan ahead. Do not read, do not jump and read. You just read the question, do underline and search answers for the questions when you read at the first time. If you are not clear, read it again and search for, develop a curiosity to get the answers. Remember, you need to develop and try to get the link and the connection between the question and the scenario and search for the answer. Clear? Then some questions you do not need to even look at it to get an answer. How you calculate equity? How you calculate closing balance of cash? So, those things you are already done. So, it is a matter of applying your knowledge into the case and come up with the answer. Okay? So, we will do another kind of a session and how to do case study. We take some questions probably in a different school paper or term paper. Thank you.